Hello and good morning. So first, this is going to be an interesting one. I haven't yet attempted this, and I am fully ready to look and sound like a complete ass. So let's do this. Today, I'm talking about what the difference is between tarot and oracle cards. Because up until like a year ago, I actually didn't know there was a difference. I was talking to my sister because I had to live with her for like a month or so. I was like, hey, you should let me do a tarot reading for you once sometime. Because I don't believe I've actually genuinely done a reading for anyone else. Full disclosure, I've been thinking about it when I bought tarot cards, and I'm calling myself out on this. This is part of leading into the lesson. But when I bought my tarot cards, which was actually an oracle deck, I originally did it because I wanted to make money. I wanted to make YouTube videos and make money off of it like everyone else. However, the first deck I was actually called to get. Now, there are many different types of people who can use cards and channel energy. Honestly, anyone can go to the store and pick up one of these and not even need to be able to read or do energy. They can literally just pick up the cards and read them. Read the book and just follow it along. But then there's different levels. Then there's some people who can actually tap into the energy of the cards or the tarot and actually read energy. Not just the cards. It's like a fusion. And then there are other people who don't even need the cards and can just read energy. I don't like doing that because then the validity of the statement becomes to break down, and it's like, well, honestly, I could say whatever the hell I want. You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell the difference. But the reality of the situation is, we'll break it down. Because energy is energy. I could even do an actual tarot reading with a deck of normal playing cards. Because it's actually, I believe, they're based off of the tarot deck. And you can, it's got all the same suits. So it's a little more difficult because you kind of have to be able to read the energies. Because again, it's not the same suit, but if you pick these cards, the images of the cards' suits will pop in your head. So it's like, oh, well, this is the ace of hearts, but it might be the actual ace of wands, or, the ace of whatever. And you would have to do more on my part to channel a correct message because I'm not using, but it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible, it's just more difficult. So what is the actual difference? Well, I started off, this is literally the first deck I bought. It's called an oracle deck, Wisdom of the Shadow. And then I had realized this was actually one of the, not original, but it's based off one of the original tarot decks. This is actually tarot, not oracle. The difference is, I found out oracles are specific energies. Like this one specifically is shadow. This one is moonology. This one has to do with light work. This one has to do with dragons. This one has to do with raise your vibrations. And then this one has to do with nature. Now, as I said just like 5 seconds ago, energy is energy. If I so chose, it's possible I could actually go through all of these decks and get the same reading. I'm actually going to try. I've never used more than 2 decks. But the difference between them is, I'm getting to the point. Oracle decks, in my mind, are more like reaching into a river, a stream of energy, and pulling out your divination fish, which is your message. You're like, oh, here's my fishy, and it says this. Tarot cards, not so simple. I've actually had to do a little bit of research into it because even after I bought tarot cards, I found out they're a lot harder to read than the oracle cards, or at least for me. Some readers will actually say, do both. You can actually do oracle cards in tandem with tarot cards, and it actually works. It actually sometimes helps explain this. But the reason this one is so perplexing to me is because you find out this is actually a roadmap to life itself. It's not the same thing as digging your hands into some energetic pool and just kind of pulling out divination messages. This is straight up, yes, back in the olden days, back before they had technology and other stuff, there were shamans, and then there were readers and seers, and like every generation had something different. Seers, readers, whatever you want to call them. Oh, that's not good. Oh, fuck. I don't remember what I did with the book. Well, we will set that brain train aside and figure it out later. For now, I might actually have to do a separate video on tarot. I'm not going to say I know everything. I don't. In fact, I've had to do some research, and that's when the tarot started talking to me more. Is because, again, it was a different kind of energy. So I started doing some research, and it's like, if you want to read tarot, this actually helps. Now, again, you could do it without it, but it's one of those things where you can tell the difference. The tarot cards do have a specific reason. There is no right or wrong way to use them, but they do have a specific purpose. And if you're not tapping into the true purpose, then the messages aren't as clear. And I was realizing that. It's like I was doing tarot and I couldn't get it. So I did some research, and it's like, well, you have to be able to connect and understand the Cabal and the Major Arcana and the Minor Arcana. And I was like, whoa, hold on. I got homework? I got freaking spiritual homework? Okay. They're like, well, you don't have to truly memorize all the symbols, all the things. It's just helpful. Because sometimes it actually does distract from the message too. But I actually have somewhere on my computer a full chart of this. It is actually literally a fifth dimensional map to charting your life and correcting it, or fixing it, or changing it. Because what this is literally a self-reflection. You're not digging in, I mean you are, you're digging into cosmic energy, but it's actually your energy, it's your inner self. So this is literally a direct mirror of you or the person you are doing the reading for. Okay? So what you're actually supposed to do is, I don't have the picture, and since I don't really edit my videos, it might not be in there, but there's this tree of life, which is, I can't explain it, but it's got this, it basically looks like a road map, and you have a bunch of bubbles and all these arrows, and basically it's showing the interconnectedness on a 5-dimensional scale and whatever, blah, 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 blah. But if you actually take the cards and you can align them to the map of the tree of life, and actually plots out this path of, okay, funny enough, it was actually on the bottom of the deck. You start at the bottom of the deck, which is the Fool. Now, most people see this as a derogative or negative term. Because, you know, you get called a fool, they think you're stupid, they think you don't know what you're talking about, you're foolish, you know, you're ignorant, you're dumb. But that's not necessarily the case. It's the Fool because you are being fooled, kind of. It's embodying the specific hierarchies of the major arcana. Because at first you're the Fool. The Fool knows nothing. The Fool knows nothing. You think you do, but you don't. Okay? And then I actually enjoy being the Fool, though. Because then once you realize you're the Fool, you can't be fooled. Because I am the Fool. I know it doesn't make sense, but you can't fool the Fool. Because once the Fool realizes what he is, you get it. Now, you actually bounce between all of the major arcanas until eventually you, quote unquote, like, it's kind of weird, but you like merge with the world. The point is getting yourself from the Fool status up to realizing you're actually connected with the world. But the interesting thing, and it's actually, if you want to go as far as spirituality, that level, when you hit the acknowledgement, I am one with the world, could technically be your awakening. You could call it that. Because you hit a certain level of knowledge that you didn't have before. And you're like, okay, well, it actually turns out we are all interconnected. And that's how this shows you. But then once you realize that and you hit that, then you don't stop. Because now you use these cards and you understand what it's like to be, say, the Empress energy, or the King energy, or the Fool energy. Once you learn all of these different roles of yourself and these aspects of yourself, then you can actually take time and embody them specifically when you feel like you need to. The point is to get you used to it too. You have to embody the energy of the Fool or of the Queen of Cups or the, it's like for instance, I'm totally going to butcher this, but there's a card in here that says relax. It's like you have to embody the patience of this specific card, which is learning how to relax or learning how to move or learning how to, basically it's the flow of energy. The flow of energy within yourself. And in order to keep it going, these cards show you where the blockages are. Okay? So yeah, maybe it's a cool party trick, and I could use it and say, oh look, you found love in 2 days. But it's not an accurate reading. I mean, so anything I say is never meant to bash on anyone else. Again, I am the first one to call myself out. So, a lot of people do the readings, and they are trying to mislead people. Some people don't mean to mislead people, and they just don't know what they're doing. And then some people actually genuinely want to help and use it. So I've been trying to work on making my content more valuable and not just pumping out garbage. So ironically, I actually started with a shadow deck instead of a tarot card. And OCD, autism, whatever you want to call it, made me decided to organize the decks and actually in the order that I purchased them. Just because, I don't know. So the first deck I got was a shadow deck. And even though, because I had acknowledged it, I talked to my metaphysical, she's my spirit guide, kind of. She's on my spirit council, we'll go with that. And I kept talking to her about it, and she's like, well, if you're buying the cards, don't do them for other people. I said, what do you mean? I thought you were actually supposed to have cards for other people. She goes, no, use them on yourself first, get used to it. I said, okay, alright, cool. So I started using the cards on myself. I was posting videos, still with the intent of hoping to get views, but I was posting videos about my own readings, because I never realized I was turning the energy outwards, which is okay. That's actually okay. I realized maybe you get more value from my videos from seeing the change in myself instead of trying to get answers for yourself. You can see how my readings actually have changed me. Because if you go back to the beginning of my channel when I said, I was trying to make money, and then if you do like 3-month intervals, and you skip ahead 3 months and watch another video, skip ahead 3 months, watch another video, I can promise you, as you go down the line, the videos, the messages shift. The energy shifts. And it's actually gotten to a point I don't even do tarot or oracle readings anymore. I'm just getting some really crazy, you see, like right off the bat, discomfort. I'm not even trying to do a reading, and it's like, yeah, I'm right there. I'm right there with you. So, it's actually gotten to a point too. You got to be careful. I'm going to put this out while I shuffle my cards. It was actually brought to my attention last night. I got to the point I'm watching videos just because I'm bored. I don't necessarily need the tarot readings. And obviously, if I so chose, I could get on and do the readings myself. However, there is one drawback people don't think about. It actually does take your energy. So these people who are putting on like 4 or 5 videos a day, you got to be careful. Because that's truly draining your energy. And if you're not taking care of yourself and you're not grounding properly, you're going to burn yourself out. All for the cost of wanting to make money in videos. Sure, you're getting views, sure, you're getting posts, but holy crap, you're going to burn yourself out, and what's the point of having all that if you're so dead tired that you can't enjoy it? Okay? Just a little rant there. Pull back your energy, Adam. Pull back. Pull back. There's nothing inherently wrong. Because there are some people, like to be honest with you, November 1st, I've been getting messages downloaded left and right. That's not even tarot readings. It's not even card readings. It's like information. And I have been, what is today? Like the 8th or the 9th or something. I've been having to write them down. It's like, yo, spirit, you told me to rest. I'm resting, and I'm sleeping, and I'm trying to relax. But I've been having downloads for the past week. What's going on? Let's filter this out. And I've been trying to relax and post less, which is funny because I actually got enough content to post all the way up until January. And it's, even though I'm saying I'm posting less content, I'm actually posting more frequent by scheduling it. So I'm doing all the videos, I'm sitting down and I'm just pumping them out. Doesn't matter anymore. But that way, I don't have to be concerned about it. I let it go for a few days. Be like, look, if I'm truly concerned about posting and keeping my activity up, I'm fine. I got it. So you know what? Now I can relax. Now it's peaceful. Find that balance. So it's like, okay, cool. I haven't had to actually do any videos in a couple of days. But I feel like it. Because if I don't, my brain's going to explode. So the difference between Oracle and Tarot, we're going to get back into that, is now I've noticed though, the funny part is I buy multiple decks. Now the Oracle decks, again, are different types of decks, different energies. However, when you get an actual Tarot deck, it's all the same. The pictures are just different and the names are different. But it's like, Knight of Discs. But it's like, if you buy like this tarot deck and this tarot deck are actually tarot decks, all the suits are the same. It's like there's literally no difference. It's just they have different names. So it's like, well, you don't really need more than one tarot deck because it's the same energy. However, I have been having tarot decks call out to me, specific tarot decks. It's like, I don't need you. And they're like, take me home. It's like, okay, all right. I'm just gonna listen to my intuition as with that one. In fact, the one I have in my hands, Queen of Discs, actually called to me very, very loudly. I was up at a Half Price Books, and I'm looking in the shelf, and I'm like, oh, yo, those are cool. And I see the Necronomicon tarot deck. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I walk away, and it's like, no, take me home. It's like, but I don't need it to take me home. It's like, okay, I would like that deck, please. It apparently wants to come home with me. It's like, but I don't need any more decks. That's the funny thing. In fact, as I was saying before, these 3 decks, including the Shadow deck, are ones that I bought. These 2 actually manifested and came to me. Because I'm like, I don't really need any more cards. But I'm like, I still like collecting them, because it's almost like having friends. I know that made my heart sink a little bit. I'm just like, the way I phrase that. Ouch. I just burned myself. Ugh. Friends, help me. So, because it's channeling specific energies, and they actually have, I want to say, they almost have personality. So I actually even got to the point, so I stopped after the Dragon deck, and I just bought one tarot deck, and I just kind of stopped. I was like, I still want more, though. I still kind of want to collect more, even though I know I don't need them. Literally, these 2 manifested my reality. When I lived with my sister, I was telling you I wanted to do a tarot reading for her. And she's like, well, I don't really do them anymore. I used to, and I'm not really into it. In fact, I have some decks, she's like, really? Can I buy them from you? She goes, just take them. That was these 2. I was like, yo, those came to me, and I didn't even have to buy them. They just came to me. So I'm like, all right, well, interesting. Now, I'm actually going to try something crazy here. I've never tried this before, and if it's going to sap all my energy, well, so fucking be it. I'm actually curious to see this. So, as I was telling you before, you can technically do, deck after deck. I see a lot of people actually pull a couple cards from this deck, pull a couple cards from that deck. It's just kind of whatever their intuition tells them. However, I'm going to get crazy. I want to see something here, and I'm not going to tell you. So we're just going to do it. Okay. I don't have a specific question on my mind. I do, but I don't, and I was going to ask later, and I was going to do my own tarot reading anyways, off camera. But alright, Spirit, you know what's on my mind. I'm not even going to ask a question. Sometimes I prefer it that way, because it feels more open and you can flow to the universe. Instead of trying to specifically say, oh, universe, what is my twin flame doing? What am I supposed to be, accomplishing in the future? You just be like, alright, you know what, how about you show me what I need to see in the present, or what you believe I should see in the present. Like what could actually be assistance of me today, not tomorrow. So it's like, alright, please, Oracle of the Shadow, would you please show me? I've been kind of trying to take a break on shadow work, because, balance, you gotta do balance. You work on your shadows somewhat, and you gotta take a break. I'm currently in one of those breaks. But, again, just to kind of do this, I have to do my own reading. We got here. Can I see what card it is? Is it Doubt? It is Victory. Well, clearly my psychic power still needs some tuning. So Victory. Like right now, I have had victory. It has been really tough for me. But these past few months, specifically, even this last year, I have done so much effing shadow work, it's not even funny. And that's kind of what it's saying here. It's like, dude, you're good right now. You will always be doing work. You will always be healing, quote unquote. But right now, just enjoy the victory, alright? You've done good. You've done good. Just relax. And that's not in the future. That is present. This is now. Meow. Meow. Meow, see? Kind of like Aaron Dugtree. Right? Meow. Yeah, you can even say, like, just look at the card. Victory. I mean, what does that stand for? What does it stand for to you? Did you have something recently that was felt like was a victory, even if it was small? It doesn't have to be this great thing. Simply waking your ass up in the morning and getting out of bed is a damn victory these days, okay? Be grateful for every little victory. Waking up is a fucking victory. Tell you what, some days I wasn't going to. Judgment. This is also relevant to me. I've been a little scared lately. I'm doing my best to let go of judgment, you know, because even as I sit here and I'm quote unquote calling out other readers, I can't judge them because I am still the same. I'm not trying to say anything anyone's doing is bad. Okay? It's not great, but to each his own. So the only thing we can do is put good content in hopes that it will actually reach the people it needs to, because you can't really stop people from doing bad content. It's just how it is. But the judgment card, also, in on myself, I am scared to get judged. I have had some really weird crap been happening to me lately, and as I post more and more videos, they are getting stranger and stranger. I'm talking about a lot of weird esoteric crap, and I'm worried. It's like, this is the kind of stuff I feel like you talk to your family and they think you're effing crazy. So I'm just like, alright, yeah, there's a lot of judgment in my life right now. I'm working on not judging others while trying not to judge myself. So judgment is quite prevalent in my world right now. Third card. Now you can do as many pulls as you want. Sometimes you can tap into spirit. Oh, yep, greed. Greed, see what I was telling you about. Greed. That is something I've been working on. I have truly been posting videos to help promote myself. And that is greed. That was greed. I was too concerned about myself. Okay? And this is a card that's been popping up for me multiple times. Look, I'm not political. And obviously I say that when I'm about to say a political statement. But I'm sorry that just the face does look a little bit like Trump. I'm not political. I don't give two fucks about who's in the government office, but that face is actually kind of funny. But this is how I've been feeling. It's like, you know, everyone's... Maybe it's even as far as, because in the background it says my world. Maybe that's not just me, maybe it's everyone. We're all scared. We're all scared. Lately I've noticed, because, you know, I've been going out and selling some stuff. Like, I've noticed I have a bunch of crap. I've been cleaning my apartment. And anytime I try to sell something, I am getting undercut so effing bad, like it's ridiculous. I brought in Silent Hill. For gamers who don't know what that is, it is an old PS1 game. That alone is $500. And then I have 3 or 4 other games in the same game franchise, which each, without the original case, the disc itself is still about $100. So I brought it into this old-timey retro store. You can tell business is bad. It is what it is. And then the guy literally took a half an hour to finally come back and say, hey man, this is going to be your quote. I was about to walk out the door. I was like, I know they're playing games. It doesn't take a fucking half an hour to figure this out. He found out that they're actually really expensive and that he could make good profit on them. All you have to do is pay like $30 and you can get a case, which easily flip that around. Game's worth $200-300 a disc. So I was like, okay, and I know they weren't going to be able to pay me what I wanted, right? But I did it anyways. Well, surprise, surprise, when they turned around and gave me a quote, I got pissed. It was $150. Greed. Greed in society, and I can't blame him because it's like, I understand. So I'm not going to get mad. Reality of the situation was I just said, bye. I said, okay. And he looked at me, and he was upset, and he's like, it's like, I understand, you get, you know, you get what, You know why I'm walking away. I'm not going to sit here and be mad at you, but you fully understand why I'm walking out this door. So, have a good day. But I also recognize the greed within myself. It's like, I do want, like I said, that's why I started. I started my YouTube out of greed. And now it's actually transformed into something else. I don't know what. We're still kind of figuring that part out. Yeah. Then this is the part I was curious about. Ooh, do my dragon deck? Okay. See, and that's where you kind of tune in to truly tune in to the energy. It's like I was about to do one from the moon deck, but the dragon deck's like, no, pull me out. Pull me out. See right here. Right on the bottom of the deck, the first card I saw was Golden Atlantean Dragon. And this says, helps you remember the wisdom of the Golden Atlantis. Awaken, bring back your knowledge, gifts, and talents, reclaim your mastery. And that's the funny thing is, that's actually where my channel's being shifted to, is I'm realizing certain talents and gifts of myself. And I'm still posting stuff to YouTube, but the energy in my channel has changed. It's not out of greed anymore, I'm purely trying to share the knowledge. I'm getting all this knowledge that I feel like might actually be useful. I'm not telling you to follow me or live based off what I say, but if I have knowledge that actually is helpful and useful, I will share it. Mainly because I'm being told to. Alright, Dragon Deck, what else you got for me? I'm curious. I've actually been meaning to use my Dragon Deck a lot more. My Dragon Spirit's been trying to talk to me. So, let's tune in. As I said earlier, I actually do 3-card pulls at a time. Make sure it's still recording and I'm not just... Good God, okay, cool. I do 3-card pulls. I don't know where the actual book is, like I said, and that's bugging me, but I'm going to let it go for now. There is multiple pulls. You can do any set you want, whatever feels good to you. That one has like a 12-card pull. I saw it in the book, and it's like, place it here, 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 place this one, this one, this, and it's like this whole ordeal. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. But the Shadow deck actually has 3 or 4 different methods. It's like 3 cards or 4 cards, and it gives you a specific layout, and each Oracle book actually gives a different layout, a different reading. Now, you don't technically have to follow any of those, or you can. It's up to you. I typically just pull 3, unless I'm instructed to pull more. Because you pull 3, I've always liked that past, present, future. What you learned, what you're learning, or what you're going to learn, it's relevant. I like it. That's just how I go. So we're going to pull 3 cards. First card. And the card in the bottom of the deck doesn't count. That's just there. This one says Silver Dragon. Bathes you in divine feminine light. Come in balance and practice peace, harmony, and cooperation. Expand your casual chakra. And as I just got done saying, I'm in a point of rest. So, that's actually what I'm learning. It's right here. The feminine light, I've actually strangled a little bit by accident because I was always so overproductive. That's where my greed came from. Is again, my YouTube, it's like I'm being overproductive. Even now, I'm sitting here recording a video when I should be resting. It's kind of a balance. I'm not going to upload this right away. It's not going to get uploaded maybe even for a week. But I still have time to do it. I still have energy. So find the balance. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's pull another card. Golden Solar Dragon. Helps you stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Let your DNA be reprogrammed and light codes activated. Become an inspired leader. I can't make this shit up, guys. So the last card just said you're healing your feminine. And then because I'm healing my feminine, I can now stand in my masculine with wisdom of the feminine. And wisdom in general. Because it's like, okay, so let your DNA get reprogrammed. So now I am not trying to overpower the feminine with my masculine and overproduce. It's, alright, I'm taking a break. But the masculine says right now I can get up and do a little bit of work. And if I feel like I can keep going, that's fine. If I need to take a break, take a fucking break. But now it's like, now you have this knowledge and the wisdom, start using it. So now it's the balance and the co-creation of the feminine and the masculine because I am balancing the feminine and the masculine. I'm learning to balance, or I am. Third card? I don't know. There's a lot of dragon cards. Is it purple? It is green. It is... Wow, I actually did see green. I'm gonna have to practice that. I did see green, but I guessed purple. Anyways, water dragon. And then this, because feminine energy, because you're learning, or I'm learning to relax and be in my divine feminine energy, water dragon helps you flow easily around obstacles. Go with the flow. Develop your psychic abilities. Guys, I can't make this shit up. I mean, I can. Unless I have to sit here and show you every single fucking card. But, that's funny. So what I originally intended with doing across all three of these decks, I was actually going to see if the reading was the same across all of the decks. But however, as my point actually is demonstrating, because the decks are different energies, I actually am getting different readings. That's pretty fascinating. I honestly thought it was going to be the same reading across the board. Now do a tarot card? Okay, since my Cthulhu deck, it's the Necronomicon deck, because reality, it's like all the H.P. Lovecraft stuff. So it's got other Leviathans and Dagon and, you know, the H.P. Lovecraft horror, basically. But it's the Necronomicon deck. I just call it the Cthulhu deck because Cthulhu is the most prominent out of H.P. Lovecraft. You don't even need to know who H.P. Lovecraft is. And you're like, oh yeah, that big tentacle dude. I know him. It's like, yeah, the Call of Cthulhu. Alright, which is also a fun game. Anyways, now let's see what the actual tarot has to say. I'm curious to see if it's actually going to tie into the other message, or it's going to be its own standalone message. I want to say cups. Wands. Fuck, I was wrong. So this is the Eight of Wands, which typically the wands, I believe, actually are the fire sign. It's either that or it's the air sign. I'm trying to do this without the book, so give me a break. I definitely know the wands have to do with creative productivity or creative endeavors. In fact, I've seen this card a couple of times. I thought that looked like a stage, but now I clearly see it's a Temple of Ruin. Rubin. But it looks like a stage, because all of the lights are, well, it looks like, you know, the red carpet. And again, typically, the wands, I believe, have to deal with, where's my book? Has to deal with creative projects. Nope, that's a box. Oi. And see, like I said, I'm still not great with connecting with these guys, because a lot of the times you want to try to match, like I try to match the picture to the story, but because these are very weird. Even though tarot decks are all the same, they're weird. And it starts because the pictures may not always match. If you look at the other tarot cards, it kind of matches the description, but since this one is a very quote-unquote mythological. And then I have to say I'm not really a fan of how they give the description in the book. Yes, okay, Eight of Wands, energy of fire. Extend from the sides. Cards, 4 on each side from their crystals, emanate destructive rays that cross in conflict. In the back and the ground is a ruined remnant of an energy pyramid. Upside, sudden force, swift action, movement, need for haste, important communication, revelation, and cause for hope. Interesting. So one thing you also have to be concerned about is if a tarot reader is constantly talking about being in the future, that's just a grab for more views. Because then you gotta watch the next video, and then you gotta watch the next video, and then you gotta watch the next video, because then you're in a constant loop of waiting for it to actually manifest in your world. I think this is actually telling me it's here. Like, it's here. It's here. Sudden force, swift action, movement. This movement is going. A need for haste. Now, the tarot cards will never tell you to go faster than you need to. Okay? There is such thing as divine timing. But it's not telling you you need to quickly rush and hurry sloppily. It's just there is a need for movement. So in this time, I guess, holy crap, it's actually time for me to start moving. I can be restful, but at the same time, I gotta start moving. Interesting. Next card. Let's see what you say. Knave of Cups. The Knave of Cups. And again, I can't infer, I didn't infer that message from that picture, so I want to kind of do off the picture, because again, it could also be a different message. So it's multi-dimensional, that's the thing is. Just because the book says it's one thing, maybe I actually intuitively got something else. Who knows? So this one, let's actually try to read just based off the picture. You got this lady here who looks pretty well endowed. Like, she looks like she's a scribe. She's not exactly in a higher sense of power. But she's well. She's doing well. She's got a very nice necklace on made of green, which could do with your heart. Cups often is, water energy. So going with the flow, being open, being just kind of loosey-goosey. And you can clearly, she is actually scribing something, writing down some knowledge and information, which I believe that is what a knave is. Don't quote me on it. Nope, Knave of Discs. No, that's not the Knave of Cups. Queen of Discs, King of Discs, Discs, Swords. Which direction are you? Wands. This way. Knave of Cups, 2 of Cups, Devotion of Cups, 4 of Cups, 6 of Cups. I'm going the wrong way. You scared me there, you can't do that. Okay, well, if that's the case. Sorry, I heard some popping behind me. Funny enough, I actually opened up right to the page. Young woman or a child, sweet and gentle disposition, tender of heart. The green, kind of like I was saying, the green represents the heart chakra. And gracious towards others, with an unusually active imagination, outwardly dreamy and sedate. Her courage is aroused in fierce defense of those she loves. She is charming and loyal in friendship, faithful in love, and a reliable companion. Okay. I can't. I think I'm starting to understand the message of my readings. Alright, let's see what the next one is, just because. The 5 of Wands. Now, if you have to ask, this picture actually looks quite disturbing. They're actually using the wands. They look like they're cops. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know how well you can see because I can't see the camera, but it looks like they're basically using the wands as flashlight. They're beating up on some. I gotta make sure I have enough time. Because after an hour, it just stops recording. So I don't want to be sitting here for like 2 hours talking and find out it didn't record half of it. The 2 of Wands. Sorry, 5 of Wands. That's what I was looking at. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Whoa. Come on, math. Contesting, strife, competition, struggle for dominance. Testing by fire, grace under fire, honor towards foes. Interesting. Okay, interesting. So it did not happen like I thought it would. None of those messages connected whatsoever. I didn't try to make them connect either. That's the thing, because sometimes you can actually be like, all right, Spirit, can I actually get some more information? If you actually direct the energy and ask specific questions, you can actually direct the energy. And guess what? At the bottom of the deck, you are not alone. This is a good vibes deck. I seldomly ever use this. This feels like a more playful deck in the sense of it's not... I can't explain it. I would have to say it's the opposite of my shadow deck. My shadow deck feels like negative messaging because it pulls out shadow work and stuff that you don't want to see. This one is nothing but good vibes. I call back my power from every corner of the universe. Alright, Spirit, can I get some extra messaging on the message that I just got with the tarot? What does this card say? Raise your vibration is a mantra that calls light to me. Okay. I guess I'm supposed to raise my vibration. My aura is magnetic to golden opportunities. Interesting. See, that's why I kind of feel this one's a little different. It's not. It's not so much. It's just got different energy. Yes, let's go with that. I don't really whip this one out unless I'm truly called to. That was actually really interesting. I did not know that was going to go that way. Just because. Magician. I actually haven't seen that card yet. Well, that's cool. And because, guess what? Of all that reading together, all the stuff I'm learning, all the wisdom I'm embodying, you thus become the magician. So, it's the first time I've ever tried that. I have never done a reading across decks. That is a first. I've used 2 at most. This is quite interesting. Especially since I'm probably going to sack the hell out after this. I also have had 3 hours of sleep. I haven't been sleeping well. So, wow, this was actually kind of cool. I did not expect this. I have not done a massive reading like this. Normally, like I said, I pull 3 cards. So let's see. Do you have anything else to extend on this? Now that I have an actual tarot deck in front of me, or not an actual tarot deck, but one, the pictures make sense. I swear to God. Oh, the Cups. Queen of Cups. Okay. Now I don't have my book. Queen of Cups. Well, there's a lot of blue, which means either third eye chakra or just really calm. Cups, once again, water, tends to be abundant. And you can clearly see she is not doing bad. Let's see. All right, Spirit. Let's try to skip the book. Tell me what you got to say about this. What does this card represent? Freedom. Even though she clearly looks like she's royalty, she's very well endowed and doesn't have to worry about anything. She actually sets her throne outside upon some colorful stones. Not gold, but stones. Now she does hold gold in her hands, showing she is abundant, showing possibly even knowledge. But it's interesting that her chair, this really royal, magnificent chair, is actually sitting outside on a pile of colorful stones. What are you trying to tell me? Nose is itchy. Oh, maybe I'm on the nose. But then again, very calm energy. Again, all that blue, and she is not stressing at all. She's just out there chilling, enjoying her luxuries, enjoying her freedom. She has no need to be prissy or act like, sit on the throne of just fabulousness. It's the calm energy of, yeah, I understand what I am, but it's okay. I'm just chilling. I could be completely wrong, but hey, fuck it. Excuse me. And I'm going to share a little secret. I believe it's a secret. My goal is to eventually get you to stop watching my videos. And I really hope I actually mean that. Because of course, the consumerism wants you to continue watching, wants you to keep putting out messages that gets people to engage. But the point of this is, as I am discovering myself, you don't really need to watch any more readers at a certain point. As it was actually brought to my attention from one of my tarot readers, is like, you're focusing too much on tarot reading now. It's like, you don't even need it. In fact, I've gotten to the point I'm actually using it as a form of control because I don't want to let go it's easier for me to just watch these videos and kind of know what's going on. So I've also used it in that form and fashion, and it's like, well, now it's kind of getting confusing because the reality universe is testing me by doing not necessarily fake messages, but trying to see if I can pick out what resonates with me. So it's like, yeah, you've literally been just watching video after video. You've gotten to a point you're actually starting to get confused messages. That's why I was going to do this anyways. So you just got to be aware of it too. What is the reason you're watching the tarot? Are you trying to feel safe and comfortable? Because people can prey on that. Not that I'm saying don't. It's just that's where tarot readers tend to prey. It's like they know you want answers, so they're going to give you answers. Now it's up to you to determine whether the answers are actually correct or useful to you. That's all I'm saying. Again, even though I did that tarot, and that's why I like doing that, I do these tarot readings for myself. But if it resonates with you, because I know there are other people who are in the same situation as me, I'm not the only one to exist and go through what I've gone through. So if you find this message, I assume it actually resonated with you for that reason. So, is there anything else? No, I guess not. Let's find my book. Well, that's not good. There you go. Alright. I actually found my book. Still recording? Yeah, still recording for now. Alright, what did I say it was? The Queen of Cups. Good, fair woman, honest, devoted, who will do service to the querent. I'm going to assume that's a community. Loving, intelligent, and hence the gift of vision. Success, happiness, pleasure, also wisdom. Okay. So yeah, I always got it right. She's badass. She knows what she's doing. And although she is very well endowed and very smart, she is very loving and very kind. Let me see if I can actually find... I thought it had a picture in here somewhere. Or maybe I just saw it somewhere on the internet. This book does not actually tell you. It tells you how many Arcana cards are in there, which I actually like that. But yeah, maybe, I don't know where I saw it, but there was actually like some crazy... Oh, there it is. The Celtic Cross. That's what it is. Oh god, that gets crazy. That's a 10-card pull. I don't know how well you can see that, but like, fuck, that's crazy. I've never done that. I don't even tell you how it explains it. No way it does. Interesting. Interesting. Apparently, you should actually read the books. That's weird. Anywho, I think that's it. Ten of Cups. I love you, Spirit. You're freaking hilarious. Y'all have a great day.